So HyperX has been arguably killing the wired headset market due to a great combination of sound, build quality, comfort, and price point. I also need a wireless set, so I've been left wondering, where is HyperX with the wireless offering? They seem really late to the party. And then CES happened recently, and it was available for sale immediately. So I damn near lunged for my wallet, went for overnight shipping. Ladies and gentlemen, the HyperX Cloud Flight. You're looking for cheap PC games? Check out Kingwin.net. Click the link in the description below to help support the channel and never pay full retail again. Yo, I'm Brian P. You're watching Bad Seed Tech and what's really good. So today we're taking a look at the first wireless offering from HyperX, the Cloud Flight. Priced at $159, this puts it at the top end of all the headsets in the HyperX lineup, and it actually comes in slightly higher than the Logitech G933 and the SteelSeries Arctis 7. I've got full reviews for both these units on my channel if you're interested. Let's just cut right to it. For $160, you're getting a steel frame with the rest of the build being primarily plastic. At 315 grams with the mic attached, this unit feels substantially lighter than both the Arctis 7 and the G933, but I couldn't find exact weights for those two units published anywhere. The drivers here are 50 millimeters, beating out both competitors, and unless you have like the world's tiniest ears, these are gonna sit actually on your ear, not all the way around. They do a great job of isolation, but they do leak a little bit. The ear cup material is leatherette, and the memory foam here is pretty dense, more so than the Cloud 2s, more in line with like the Revolvers. And I would put the comfort somewhere between the Revolver and the Alpha, which is really high praise because HyperX makes some of the most comfortable wired headsets I've ever used. This is the first closed back headset that I have had to take a break at about the 3-hour mark due to heat buildup. I don't generally have this issue, but for whatever reason, these guys really seal it in. Also, these ear cuffs swivel 90 degrees, and unlike the Arctis 7, they're very comfortable to wear when they're in this position. The padding on the underside of the headband is a really soft leather-like material as well, but the density on the foam here is way different. It's really loose, and you would almost think it was filled with air as opposed to memory foam. These are a little bit clampy, more so than the Arctis 7s, not nearly in the same ballpark as the G933s. And the good news is that I can adjust these to make them way too big for my head, which is extremely difficult to do. So you big watermelon head ass dudes, your ship has come in. The outside of the ear cuffs are done in a rubberized matte black and feature the HyperX logo. This only lights up in red and you get 3 options here, either full off, full on, or a breathing effect. Outside of that, the only splash of color on this headset at all is the exposed wiring on either cup, also in red. Controls on this unit are very sparse. The left ear cup doubles as a mic mute, makes it really easy to find. You also find a power button that also assigns a lighting mode. There's a 3.5 millimeter port there for analog use for your phone or your console. It is worth noting here that wireless support is only available for PC and PS4. You'll also find a mini USB port for charging. The right ear cup sports the volume adjustment, which controls system volume digitally in increments of 2 decibels. This is similar to what you'd find on media controls on a keyboard. And strangely absent is any sort of battery life indicator. So we've got build quality and we've got comfort on lock. But the $160 question, how does it sound? And the answer, exactly what you'd expect from HyperX. It's big, it's detailed, it's fun, and it has easily the best bass response of any wireless unit I've tested. Out of the box, it sounds great for gaming, music, and movies. For movies, for bass testing, I always use the scene in The Force Awakens where the Star Killer bass fires. This thing handles it like a champ. And for music, I always use the intro to Lil Uzi's Neon Guts. Don't judge me, bro. The SteelSeries Arctis 7 might do a little bit better job on the high end and separation, but the flights absolutely walk all over it in the bass department. The overall volume output is similar to the Arctis 7 as well, which means I use these at near or full volume all the time. The mic, like all HyperX Cloud headsets, is detachable, and it's really flexible for positioning. It sounds good for a gaming mic.
I don't think it comes across too nasally. I think it sounds pretty full. It's got decent bottom end. It can come through a little bit boomy, but the noise cancellation is actually better than I found on the Cloud Alpha. In all actuality, the Arctis probably has the best noise canceling of the bunch, but my voice on the Arctis sounds really lightweight and anemic as opposed to the Cloud Flight.
Wireless here is provided via a USB dongle, and the battery life is rated at an absolutely insane 30 hours with the lighting disabled. If you use the breathing effect, it's rated for 18 hours, or if you have it on full blast, it's 13 hours. I can't tell you if this thing will do a full 30, but I've used it for 2 solid days now, over 10 hours each day, and it's still got juice. So that's everything the unit has to offer for $160. Not bad, right? Let's talk about what they don't tell you on the box. Let's talk about what the unit doesn't offer. You may want to grab a pen and paper. From the top, there's no software, which is good or bad depending on your point of view, but it also means that there's no EQ and there's no profiles for games, movies, or music. That said, I've never felt the need to EQ a HyperX headset, and I now own 4 of them. They all sound amazing out of the box. These are stereo only. There is no simulated surround on offer here. And again, that's completely subjective. There is no battery life indicator of any sort anywhere that I can find. I seriously have no idea how much juice these have in them right now. I'm assuming that when it gets low, it'll give me a little beep or something, but even the manual doesn't mention anything about this. My favorite close-back feature, side tone, is nowhere to be found here. This means you can't hear yourself talking in your own mic in your own headset. There is no mix control for chat volume versus game volume. The analog cable here does not support the microphone if it's plugged into your phone. That means if you're plugged into your phone, listening to music and a call comes in, you can't take it hands-free. If you're charging the unit via mini USB, you also have to have the wireless dongle in place if you want to continue using the headphones while you're charging. Lastly, this unit has the worst range of the bunch. HyperX rates this at 20 meters, which is approximately 65 feet. I started getting cutouts and interrupts at approximately 35 feet away from the receiver. This is the only unit of the 3 I tested where range was even a factor anywhere in my apartment. I mean, this thing is seriously lacking in the features department. The G933 is winning the race thanks to outstanding stuff like audio mixing, multiple simulated surround modes, with the Arctis coming a close second. If those 2 units are Swiss Army knives, then the Cloud Flight is like a perfectly ergonomic, polished spork. So, final thoughts. At this price point, the value part of the equation is lopsided. This almost feels like a prototype as opposed to a completed production unit. If you look at similar wireless offerings from other manufacturers, this thing's up against some serious competition. If you're only comparing it to HyperX's own lineup, then it starts to make a little more sense. I mean, you do still get the build quality, you still get the sound quality, and you still get the comfort that you come to expect from HyperX. Obviously, not every one of their headsets in their lineup features simulated surround mode, so that's arguably not a big loss here. But the price is suspect, because at this price point, you're missing a ton of features present in all the other top-tier wireless headsets. And while I can easily live with the idea of no additional software on my system, stuff like side tone, chat mix, mic support in analog mode, or literally any kind of battery life indicator at all are glaring omissions. The Arctis 7 still gets my nod as the go-to wireless headset for PC, especially when you figure in that it can often be had for less than $149. I sincerely hope HyperX comes back with a V2 of this unit that addresses some of these concerns, because I seriously doubt I'm going to be the only reviewer pointing these out. I love HyperX wired headsets. I wanted this to win. And while it breaks my heart to turn my back on that HyperX signature sound, I really feel like my money would be better spent elsewhere. I want to hear from you guys on this one. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. I'll leave links in the description if you want to get your hands on any of the units discussed here today. If you do decide to buy a Cloud Flight, I would highly recommend buying directly through HyperX, because the shipping options are substantially cheaper than Best Buy currently. And that's it for this time. I'm Brian P. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit that sub button, and until next time, stay up. Hey, 2 videos in 2 days. Get a load of that action.